Jupiter in the 8th house is one of the most intriguing and profound positions in a natal chart. In astrology, Jupiter is the great benefic, representing expansion, wisdom, and abundance. The 8th house, traditionally ruled by Scorpio and Pluto, governs the intense underworld of human experience, shared resources, deep transformation, intimacy, and the cycle of death and rebirth. When the planet of growth enters the house of shadows, the result is a life path dedicated to finding light in the darkest corners of existence. The alchemist's touch. At its core, Jupiter in the 8th house bestows a unique form of spiritual protection or luck during times of crisis. While others might crumble under the weight of loss or radical change, individuals with this placement often find that their greatest windfalls occur immediately following their greatest challenges. They possess an innate optimism about the unknown, viewing life's transitions not as endings, but as necessary evolutions. This is the hallmark of a psychological alchemist, someone who can take the leaden grief of life and spin it into the gold of wisdom. Financial expansion through others. On a material level, the 8th house governs other people's money. This includes inheritances, tax breaks, insurance payouts, and marital assets. Jupiter here often acts as a magnet for external resources. These individuals may find themselves marrying into wealth, receiving unexpected legacies, or possessing a natural talent for managing the finances of others. They are the venture capitalists of the zodiac, instinctively knowing where to invest energy and capital for the maximum return. However, because Jupiter can also represent excess, there is a risk of over-leveraging themselves or relying too heavily on the generosity of partners. The depth of intimacy. In the realm of relationships, Jupiter in the 8th house seeks a connection that transcends the superficial. They aren't interested in small talk, they want to know the secrets of your soul. Intimacy for them is a form of philosophical exploration. They view the merging of two people mentally, emotionally, and physically as a path to higher consciousness. This can lead to a very healing presence in relationships, as they offer their partners a safe, non-judgmental space to reveal their deepest vulnerabilities. They find the taboo aspects of life fascinating rather than frightening, making them excellent confidants. Psychological and occult wisdom. There is a profound interest in the mysteries of life and death with this placement. Jupiter here expands the intellect toward the metaphysical. These individuals are often drawn to psychology, forensic science, or the occult. They have a detective mind, always looking beneath the surface to find the why behind human behavior. Their faith is rarely traditional, instead, it is forged through intense personal experiences and a deep study of the unseen forces that govern the universe. They find God or meaning in the shadows, believing that true enlightenment requires facing one's own demons. The shadow side, overextension and obsession. Every Jupiter placement has its pitfalls, usually involving a lack of boundaries. In the 8th house, Jupiter's expansive nature can lead to an obsession with power or the dark side of life. There may be a tendency to dive too deep into psychological dramas or to take unnecessary risks with shared finances. Because they feel lucky in crises, they might unconsciously court chaos just to feel the rush of the subsequent transformation. Learning to appreciate stability and recognizing when enough is a key karmic lesson for these individuals. Evolutionary growth. Ultimately, Jupiter in the 8th house is about the expansion of the soul through surrender. Life will inevitably ask these individuals to let go of something they hold dear, a belief, a relationship, or a career, only to show them that the universe has something far more expansive waiting on the other side. They are the bridge builders between the material world and the spirit world, teaching us that there is nothing to fear in the dark, for that is where the most profound growth takes place. Their legacy is often one of healing, leaving others wealthier, spiritually or materially, than they found them. When Jupiter in the 8th house filters through the 12 signs, the flavor of transformation and the source of shared abundance shift significantly. Here is a brief look at how the signs influence this placement. Fire signs, the bold transformers. Aries, luck comes through decisive action during crises. These individuals are pioneers of psychological breakthroughs, often gaining wealth through independent ventures or assertive negotiations. Leo, transformation is a creative act. They may find abundance through high-profile legacies or by helping others shine through their deepest vulnerabilities. Intimacy is a grand, passionate affair. Sagittarius, this is Jupiter's home turf. There is a deep, philosophical faith in the cycle of rebirth. They find immense wealth, spiritual or material, through foreign investments, travel, or higher learning shared with partners. Earth signs, the practical alchemists. Taurus, this emphasizes the material side of the 8th house. There is a Midas touch regarding inheritances and joint assets. They seek tangible security and find deep peace in the physical aspects of intimacy. Virgo, growth occurs through the mastery of details in crisis management. They are the healers who fix broken things or people, gaining resources through service, research, or meticulous financial planning. Capricorn, a sober but powerful placement. Wealth often comes later in life through disciplined investment and legacy building. They take the responsibilities of shared resources very seriously, often acting as the rock for others. Air signs, the intellectual detectives. Gemini, wealth and transformation come through information and communication. They may manage multiple streams of shared income or find healing through talk therapy and investigating the occult with a logical mind. Libra, success is tied directly to partnerships. They attract lucky collaborators and find that their greatest psychological growth happens through the mirror of a significant other. Balance in shared assets is key. Aquarius, this brings an unconventional approach to the taboo. They may benefit from group resources, crowdfunding, or social causes. Their transformation is often sparked by radical, progressive ideas. Water signs, the soul divers. Cancer, deeply intuitive and protective. They find abundance through family legacies or real estate. Emotionally, they grow by nurturing others through trauma, creating a womb-like safety in intimacy. Scorpio, intense and magnetic. Jupiter here amplifies the natural power of the 8th house. They possess an uncanny ability to regenerate after total loss and may have a profound interest in the deepest mysteries of the afterlife. Pisces, this is a highly spiritual placement. Luck is often felt as divine intervention during dark times. They possess immense empathy and may find wealth through artistic pursuits or spiritual work that helps others heal. Jupiter transiting your 8th house marks a significant year-long period of deep-sea diving into the subconscious, the occult, and the shared resources of your life. While Jupiter is often associated with external luck, its passage through the 8th house is much more about internal expansion and the refinement of your power. It is a period where you are invited to grow by facing what is hidden. The expansion of shared resources. On a practical level, this transit often brings a broadening of the coffers regarding money that isn't strictly your own. This is one of the most auspicious times for settlements and legacies, receiving an inheritance, a tax refund, or a legal settlement. Spousal or partner growth. Often, your partner may experience a significant financial raise or professional expansion, which in turn benefits the household. Loans and credit. If you are seeking to refinance a home, apply for a business loan, or consolidate debt, Jupiter's influence makes lenders more favorable toward you. Investments. You may find yourself more willing to take calculated risks in the stock market or real estate, often with a lucky intuition guiding your choices. Psychological healing and alchemical growth. The 8th house is the realm of the psyche. When the great benefic enters this space, it acts like a lantern in a dark room. You may find that long-standing traumas, fears, or psychological blocks suddenly feel solvable. Therapeutic breakthroughs. This is the ultimate transit for starting therapy or shadow work. Jupiter provides the optimism needed to face your demons without being overwhelmed by them. The power of forgiveness. You are more likely to release old grudges or let go of emotional baggage that has felt heavy for years. You begin to see the why behind your pain, turning trauma into wisdom. Intuition and the occult. Your gut feelings become louder and more accurate. You may develop a sudden, intense interest in astrology, tarot, or deep metaphysical studies, finding that these tools offer genuine guidance rather than mere curiosity. Intimacy and the merging of souls. Jupiter expands whatever it touches, and in the 8th house, it touches your capacity for deep connection. Breaking taboos, you and your partner may find yourselves exploring deeper levels of intimacy, vulnerability, and sexual expression. The walls that usually protect your heart become more permeable. Trust building. This transit tests and ultimately expands the trust within your closest bonds. You are seeking a soul merger rather than a casual connection. Attracting deep souls. If you are single, you may attract people who are intensely transformative, individuals who challenge your worldview and push you toward a more authentic version of yourself. The risk of excess. Because Jupiter knows no bounds, there are shadow expressions of this transit to watch for. Debt inflation. You might feel so optimistic about future gains that you overborrow or overleverage yourself. Be careful of counting your chickens before they hatch regarding inheritances or bonuses. Emotional overwhelm. Diving too deep into the psyche can sometimes lead to a spiritual ego or becoming obsessed with darkness and mystery to the point of neglecting the mundane world. Intrusiveness. You may feel so entitled to truth that you overstep the boundaries of others' secrets or privacy. The bottom line. A Jupiter transit through the 8th house is a period of grace under pressure. It doesn't necessarily mean you won't face challenges. The 8th house is, after all, the house of crisis, but it ensures that every challenge you face results in a significant upgrade to your soul's software. You emerge from this transit wealthier, wiser, and far more empowered than when it began. Subscribe, like, and share.